going on, young lady? How are you
Hey,
doing?
how is everybody?
Good, doing good. Um, yeah, you are a patriotic American, as I am, and you get involved in the voting process.
Yes,
Have you been paying attention to what happened?
just vaguely because I had been so busy. I do know that at lunchtime I did see that Mayor Perkins of Shreveport did withdraw from the race. So looks like Shreveport's going to be getting them a new mayor. Hopefully that'll do some good stuff for Shreveport.
Yeah, yeah, that did happen. And you guys don't know about Shreveport politics at all. He's been embroiled in scandal from day one. The
Hmm.
first thing he did was he cut loose the insurance agency for the city workers and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that the first thing he did?
Yep.
Um, oh, hey, there's Matt from Small Time Republic. How you doing, brother? Matt, can you hear me?
I cannot hear you.
You cannot
Can
hear
you
me.
hear me?
Okay, all right.
I hear Matt, but I don't hear you in the stream either.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can hear you, Royal Fox.
Oh.
All right. Well, hang on. Let me fix my
Yep.
stuff here.
He was so busy trying to teach me how to do it that he forgot to set his stuff.
That's it. Well,
Yeah,
talk to Matt for a second.
yeah. You're not muted as far as
Mm-mm.
in StreamYard, but it's not coming through your mic.
Right.
Hmm. That's very strange. Okay. Let me see what I can do here. Let me turn the sharing off and remove myself.
All right.
How about this? Can you hear me now?
Oh,
No? Let me go
still
ahead and
no,
bail
not
out. Let
there.
me go ahead and bail out. Matt, tell them what you think. Well, you
All
can
right.
hear me.
I
Tell
can.
them what you think about the runoffs we're looking at.
He's
Can you hear me?
asking what you think about the runoffs that are coming up.
Okay. Well, I haven't been able to check on politics much today, and I went to bed, probably about 10:15 last night. So, um, I know there were various close races. I There was potential for the Herschel Walker and Warnock race to have a runoff. Um, so if that happens, then it'd be interesting to see what where that one goes, because I believe that one was one where they had to get, or someone had to get at least 50%. I don't
Right.
believe either one of them got 50%. So um, I don't. I'm not overly impressed with either one of those candidates. Um, Herschel Walker, obviously, if I lived in Georgia, based on my political leanings, I would be voting for him. But um, he's got a lot of skeletons in the closet. So
Right.
and not that, I mean, no one's perfect, but
Did we lose you, Matt? We may have lost the whole thing.
Oh, shit. Technical difficulties.
Hey guys, if we're still live, it looks like Matt at with Small Time Republic is frozen, and Joe is over there trying to get the technical difficulties straightened out. And this is my first show, so maybe it's me. Who knows? I mean, I'm not real technical savvy, but so maybe it's something I did. Who
No,
knows?
nothing you've done. Could be me.
So yeah, we lost Matt completely off of the stream, so
Okay.
I'm the only one here. So
Damn.
excited for the first show. Maybe it'll get going soon.
I'm having to use my phone here in a second.
Oh. Yeah, usually I'm not here during the state of the atmosphere, and I'm trying to catch it on my phone at another meeting before it starts. So it's exciting to be able to be here for it live and in person.
Hmm.
I hope everybody's had a good day.
Hmm.
It's still real pretty here. I don't know where everybody else is, but here it's been in the 70s, close to 80, with us approaching Thanksgiving, which is par for the course for our part of the world. So, but here till it's supposed to be getting cooler next week. So, ready for it to cool down a little bit, get rid of some of the bugs.
Right. Come on, you slow pea. Go. Damn.
He's trying to get us back up and going.
I spent a lot of money on this computer.
And he's steady
And it
fussing,
is acting
in case you
like
can't
it
hear
is
him.
the dumbest thing in the world.
But, you know,
Testing
we
one,
are
two,
not
three.
in a
Yeah,
perfect
my mic
world.
is gone. My mic has freaking just died, apparently.
So he's having mic issues, guys. So just bear with us. He'll be getting it back up and running soon, I hope. If not on the expensive computer equipment, then maybe on just on his phone.
I have to be a guest on my own show.
Said he'll be a guest on his own show.
There's nothing there. Not a damn thing.
Well, I'm just going to have to use my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plug your earphones in. So he's going to be joining us on his phone. So just bear with us just a little bit, and he'll be back in. May have to cut this short so we can go get him a new mic.
Now, let's hope not.
Testing one, two, three.
What the hell? Now I can't. That's not working either. What is the deal with that?
Are you plugged into your phone?
Oh, yeah. Hang on a second.
Sorry, guys.
Testing, testing, one, two, three, testing. It's not. Wow, this ain't working either.
What?
So maybe we need to just close it all out and start all over?
No. Let's work on this right here and see if I can get it going.
Because I'm not a YouTube person. I'm not a streaming person. So I don't know how to fill this dead air. I do apologize, guys. You know. But I am wearing one of my shirts from my business. I know that Joe's talked about it before, that I do a crafting business, and it's Rivers Inspired Doodles. It's really starting to pick up, getting real busy. I've got a lot of shows coming up. Of course, it's craft season.
Got it. Yeah, keep going.
And so it's craft season, you know, with the holidays coming up, lots of people buy lots of crafts. So I have a show. I thought I had a show today. My schedule's been so busy that I thought it was today, and I get all the way over there to the show and realize that it's actually next week. And so I do apologize. It was so crazy. I called Joe and said, your wife is a moron.
She is not a moron.
Got busy rushing over there, had to run by the bank to get some money for my cash box, and then realized that it is actually next week. So that's why you get to see me today, because I'm actually here. Usually I'm gone on Wednesday, so I get to share in the state of the atmosphere.
There you go. There it is. Hey, if you are watching and can hear me, Small Time Republic, I got my mic fixed. So I don't know what happened with your stuff, but my stuff got, for some reason, it switched off of the mic input. So I don't know what's up with that. I have no clue. But anyway, guys, Hey, Dork Knight, I see you over there. And Christian, as usual, there you are. What's happening, man? I'm going to go ahead and put this mic screen on real quick. I don't usually use this, but my wife is probably echoing the hell out of this. So I'm going to try and block her sound from coming in a little bit at least. Anyway, so what I had Matt talking about was the runoffs. Now, if you guys didn't pay attention to last night, well, it was funny. I got a message from my brother last night that, of course, my brother is such a doom and gloomer. I swear to God, he really is. I love him to death, but he thinks the worst about everything. And he says, "Hey, how you doing, Sentinel? I see you there, bud." And the Dork Knight's here too, and Christian. All right. Well, listen, thanks for watching, guys. I'm sorry about the technical difficulties here at the beginning of it. But, oh, man, hopefully this restores because I had all these tabs open. Yeah, here we go. That's a good thing. You guys let me know in the chat if the echo gets really bad, because if it does, I'll have to run her out of the room with her phone, and she'll have to go from the living room or something. But anyway, yeah, she's sitting right next to me. We have my studio is, as you can see, you're seeing my drawing table right over her right shoulder. So she's right next to me. Her crafting table's right
I'm
next to me.
sitting at my crafting desk, so
Yeah,
my
sure.
side of the room.
That's it. No echo so far. That's good. Okay. I'm hearing it a little bit
I
because,
hear it.
yeah, we're right next to each other. So
We could literally reach out and touch each other.
that's it right there. That's it. But anyway, guys, this is what we're looking at. What happened last night? Now, this is up to date results from 5/14 today, and I will bring that in right now. Hang on. This is up to the minute 5/14 today. It looks like 207. Republican representation in the House and 183 Democrats in the House. And let's bring Matt back in. Dude, technical difficulties tonight, huh? What the hell, man? I don't know why my microphone went off. It changed its input. I don't know why it did that. It was really weird. I've never had a problem with that. What happened to you? How'd you get booted off there, man?
I'm having laptop issues, so if I disappear again, it's because of that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to some new device of some kind. I think StreamYard's just
doesn't like yours.
It's
Are you
already
using
going
Google
downhill.
Chrome?
Yeah, I do use Chrome. Yeah.
Okay.
But
all right.
It's going downhill, so I think StreamYard's does a number on it just because it's just one more thing. But
Right.
it is what it is. So if I disappear, then
I got you.
that. Good night.
I hope you'll stay in the chat. So
I know. I was going to say, you left me all by myself for my first time ever on a stream, and I was trying to fill dead air, and I don't think I did a very good job.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're good. You guys are all good. But let me ask you something. The two runoffs, before we get into this, the two runoffs, we got, well, I say runoffs. One of them is too close to call, the one in Arizona. That's what I saw on the news before I came in here. Is it Carrie Lake? Is that her name? Or is it Terry Lake? Okay, it's Carrie Lake. Yeah, she's, I think I have an article up here on her. Yeah, the Arizona one. This was from this morning. I don't know if it's at this pitch right now, but it's really, look at that.
That's very close.
The article this morning had it like 4,000 votes, man. That's ridiculous how close that is.
Wow. And she was, last night when I went to bed, she was down big.
Yeah, she's come back. But this was 73% in. And when I came, I went and grabbed a protein bar right before the broadcast while I was trying to help her get hooked up. And the ABC was reporting that it was too close to call there still. So I guess they haven't gotten everything in there yet. But the other one that's close is this one's going to a runoff in Georgia. Warnock and Walker. Now, I don't know about you, but I can see them dumping a whole lot of money in here, just like they did in Pennsylvania.
Well, yeah, and just from looking at that, I think Walker could be in trouble because it looks like that. Well, I don't know how much of a factor it would be, but that third party candidate shows as libertarian, and
Mhm.
it looks like if he got 81,000 votes, you would think more than half of those 81,000, if those same people voted.
Mhm.
Well, I take that back. They might go
To say,
Walker.
libertarians tend to lean
Yeah.
conservative. They tend to lean conservative. So excuse the ads, guys. Sorry about that. They tend to lean conservative. So, I mean, we'll see. I'm just saying. I got a feeling this is going to turn into the same kind of spending spree we saw up in Pennsylvania with the Fetterman and Oz fight. You know what I mean? That's didn't it set some kind of record for how much money was spent on a campaign by out of state sources? And he may have froze up again, folks.
Yep. It
Yeah,
looks like it.
that's okay. But yeah, I can see them dumping just as much money in here. I really can. Yeah, and that's crazy. You would think that the I don't know. When outside sources get involved, I tend to think that they're not really thinking about the welfare of the state. They just want to get a body in there that they know they can manipulate. I guess I don't know, but
Right.
this one right here, a lot of people were hyped about Carrie Lake. She apparently is a news reporter that was backed by Trump, a former news reporter, and so we'll see what happens, but right now, as it sits right now, the light blue ones are Democrats that are leading, and the light red ones are conservatives that are leading in House seats. Then you have the Senate. Now the Senate they flipped a seat, so it looks like there's a that's the runoff with Herschel Walker right there. So depending on how that turns out, um, it looks like one Democrat's leading, and excuse me, I had something going down my throat. Uh, you had one seat flipped, and if they flip that one, then they've got a majority in the Senate. So we'll see what happens. I'm pulling for the conservatives myself. I mean, the Republicans, that is. I mean, they're as close to conservatives as you can get, anyway. But yeah, well, it was very interesting watching the stuff come in last night. I know I was watching. Whose show was that I was watching last night? It was Comics Division's election night show, and my man Tox was upset about it, boy. He was upset. But hey, it's like I've told my brother several times. You know, it comes in waves. We're gonna have the House, so we may be able. If we do lose the Senate, we should be able to hold. And when I say hold, I mean stop any crazy laws from getting passed just by the House shooting them down. Of course, if you don't know how it works, when they set up a law and they send it to the floor, they send it to the floor of the House first, and so that's where it gets first pass at. And then it goes to the Senate, and then it goes to the president. And I learned that on ABC Saturday morning cartoons. I'm just a bill, just an ordinary bill. Yes. Yes.
Yep,
Great
absolutely.
stuff.
Conjunction junction, all of that.
That's right, man. Learned a lot of stuff on Saturday mornings. But anyway, keep an eye on this one in Arizona. I'm pulling for Carrie Lake. Want to see her come out on top there. And I got a feeling this is going to be a huge fight right here. Herschel Walker and Warnock. Yeah.
Yeah, but is Herschel Walker only going to get the votes because of the publicity or the him being so well known as a sports guy?
No. He's I believe Trump's been backing him on the campaign trail. So I mean, he's got a lot of conservatives backing him. We'll see what happens with it. I hope he pulls it off. I mean, you know how these things go. They start smearing mud like crazy.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, they've already started that, especially with this race.
Yep, for sure. But you've got to do your own investigating and see, you know.
No, that's what I have you for. You know, I can piss off a bunch of the women's rights folks out there. You know, because I am as much about women's rights as anybody's, but politics is not my bag, baby.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't get into it. I don't like it, and so, but I do vote every vote. I go and make my vote heard. But I get my information from you because you do love it and you do a lot of research, and I know how you are, and I know that you're not going to steer me in the wrong direction, and it pisses off a lot of women when they hear me say this. I vote the way you tell me to vote.
Well, it's just because you're just not into it. And now,
Yeah.
the lady we're talking about here, guys, you got to remember something. She used to have a Virgin newspaper with her coffee every morning about the first, I don't know, 5 years we were married. But when her son
Yeah.
ended up fighting in the war, when he went to Iraq, that's when she stopped that. She didn't want to read the paper anymore. She didn't want to watch
Yep.
the news, none of it. But she used to be a well-informed citizen. She used to check
Yep.
that paper out cover to cover, and if you messed up her paper, that was your ass. Two things you better not mess with the Royal Fox first thing in the morning is
Coffee.
her Virgin newspaper. It better not be wrinkled. And her coffee, okay? You better not
That's
mess
right.
with it. Damn it. Now it's just television with her. But back when David was in the war,
Yeah.
she did not read the paper. She did not watch the news. She didn't want it on the television. And she had quit. What's funny is she had quit smoking like 2 years before he went to war.
Yep.
And now she's right back at it. But she
Well,
vapes now.
I
She doesn't
vape.
smoke.
I don't
Yeah.
smoke. I haven't had a real cigarette in 8 or 9, 10 years now.
Yeah. Been a while. You actually stopped smoking before I did.
Yes.
So I quit cold turkey about 6 years ago. Or no, about 4 years ago when my buddy did. But anyway, now, you know, as they say, all politics are local. So just to show you what's going on in the 10th most dangerous city.
It's
in-
only
in the
10? I
US.
thought it was more than that.
Well, we have all three major cities in Louisiana. I don't know if you saw this on me and Danny's show not too long ago, but all three major cities in Louisiana, Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Shreveport, are
Shreveport.
all on the most dangerous cities top 10 list.
Oh yeah, you don't want to go over to Shreveport after dark.
Yeah. I've been working on a comic book sign over there, guys, and I've had my shoulder holster with my Walther CCP 9mm with me every time.
He
I
almost
go.
went last night without it, and he said, "I'm gonna go without my gun." I was like, "Why?"
And I was. That's why you have a wife to remind you. Yes, you know it's a dangerous place over there.
That's
After
it.
dark, you don't need to be doing that. But what's going on here in Shreveport is we had this many people in a mayor's race, and it's come down to 2 now. Mayor Perkins, this guy right here, just conceded the race today at noon, and we are going to have a runoff between Greg Tarver, and who is a Democrat, and Tom Arsenault, who is a Republican.
Yep.
And I believe some insiders that we know into the politics of the city told us before this thing even started that it was going to be Greg Tarver.
Yep.
and he's a well-known politician. Senator Greg Tarver has served Northwest Louisiana communities as Louisiana State Senate since 2012,
Right.
as well as a Shreveport City Councilman and Caddo Parish
Sure.
police juror. Tarver was last elected to the state Senate in 2019 with 69% of the popular vote and is now running for mayor as a Democrat. Yeah. And now Arsenault, the guy he's running against, is currently a current attorney in Shreveport who announced his intent to run for mayor early February 2022 as a Republican from 1982 to 1990. Arsenault served as councilman on Shreveport's District C and served for 13 years on the board of directors of the Highland Restoration Association. Now, Highland it's one of the older neighborhoods in Shreveport,
Mhm.
and it's got a lot of historic buildings.
But it's also got a lot of crime in it too. It's one of the most divided subdivisions where you have the high dollar homes. You have the people that are very well to do, and then you have the lower end as well. I mean, it's either feast or famine in Highland.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of the historic value because there's a lot of historic homes in that area. They have one of the greatest parades during Mardi Gras season. The Highland Parade is one of the best ones, but it's so diverse.
Yeah, I enjoy the Highland Parade more than the two major parades because you're right there in a neighborhood. You're not driving on big thoroughfares. You're not riding in big thoroughfares. You're riding in a neighborhood, and the only thing you have to worry about there is that you don't get decapitated by the street lights.
Right.
Because if you're riding on the top of the float, these two-tier floats can get kind of tall, and the street lights are a little bit low sometimes. Small Time Republic Matt, I'm sorry you couldn't stay with us, dude. I love having you on here. He says, my apologies as long as I don't stream. It appears to be functional. Yeah. It's okay, man. Worry not. I hope you'll watch. We're going to keep going here.
Yeah, Matt, it was nice to talk to you.
Yeah, he's a great guy, Rhonda. He is fantastic. Yeah, okay. So he was the Highland Restoration Association director, board of directors, and including serving as president for 5 of those years. So, yeah, he's got some background, but really, Tarver looks like he's going to be the guy. I mean, Shreveport has always leaned Democratic, and so is the entire state, actually. I think the last Republican we had was what was that big guy's name that was the governor?
Glover?
No, not Glover. He's a Democrat. The big white guy that was the governor. You don't remember him? For some reason the name Forrest is coming into mind. But anyway,
remember, I'm the non-political
person. I know. I'd have to look it up. But anyway, that's what's going on in Shreveport. Now, Shreveport, like I said, they're across the river from us. We actually live in Bossier. We're like one neighborhood away from Barksdale Air Force Base.
Right.
So, but I mean, they're twin cities, just like any twin cities you've ever seen around a river. We're both on the banks of the Red River.
Yeah.
And then, okay, another thing I wanted to highlight when we're talking about elections, and everything's local. You guys know that local stuff is the most important stuff. Louisiana voters changed the state constitution Tuesday, and what is different? Louisiana voters made 3 changes to their state constitution Tuesday, and I think we had was it 8?
There was 8 or 9.
I think it was 8.
Okay.
It was either 7 or 8 amendments to the Constitution. And let's see, 3 changes Tuesday that gave property tax breaks to veterans and the disabled, and allows for the reduction of water use charges in some cases, but rejected 5 proposed amendments, including one on clarifying the ban of slavery. That one
That
was such a weird one to read, and I will
it,
read it to you guys here in a
it
minute.
really was. I was like, how in the world in 2022 are we having to vote to change the amendment about slavery? There hasn't been slavery in years. I mean, it just blew my mind when we were reading that. I was like, you've got to be kidding me.
And coming in here hot is my man, the Dork Knight.
Hey, man.
Hey,
The LV stands for Las Vegas. How you doing, brother? I heard you guys have a race that's too close to call there in Vegas as well. What's going on with that, man?
Here's what's going on with that. Just to give you guys a little bit of background on me. Hold up. How's it? Do I sound all right?
You sound
You sound
fantastic,
great.
brother.
Okay. I'm a registered libertarian. I've never been a party lines kind of guy. If you look at my voting history, it's pretty much all over the place because I'm an issues, kind of guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And that's what most of us are. Let's make that clear. You know
okay.
what I mean? Yeah.
So is this like a no cussing stream? I don't like.
No, you can do whatever you want. Then.
really?
You
You
know
know,
what you're not supposed
Have you
to
met
say.
my husband?
Yeah. So here's where, again, a lot of what I'm going to say is going to make people think I'm a Republican, but whatever. I'm not. Okay. I actually fucking hate them. But here's where they fucked up.
Okay.
The reason they did not get the red wave, and there's the reason why, they're like here in Nevada, especially, but I think there's 3 or 4 states total where Georgia's going to have a runoff or something.
Georgia's having a runoff, the Herschel Walker Warnock thing. Yep.
Yeah. So it's because of the social issues. These idiots with this abortion shit, which I'm a man, 1, I got 4 kids, 2. I've already had a vasectomy, 3. So I have no dog in that hunt. I get literally no fucks about that issue, but a lot of people do. And I've talked to a lot of people who would have voted.
My daughter's
Republican.
one of them. She is. Yep.
Yeah, I talked to a ton of people who are typically staunch Republicans who are like, who normally don't even vote in midterm elections, who are like, I have to vote because, the whole abortion thing. And I think that's really what screwed the Republicans. I really do. So here's the thing. Look, again, I cannot emphasize enough that I'm not a Republican, but during Sisolak's run here in Nevada, I think I heard you say while I was in the waiting room, like all politics is local, and it's true.
That is a fact, no doubt. That's why I'm outlining the amendments in Louisiana real quick. Yeah.
So the Sisolak is the worst governor ever, in my opinion. He handled the pandemic terribly. He shut down the fucking Las Vegas Strip for months.
Yes, he did.
Cost our economy. See you later, bro. Have a good day at work. Cost our economy a fortune. Put tons of business. The freaking Palms just reopened. The Palms.
Just now?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just recently reopened. It's probably been like a few months, but still, I mean, like it's 2022. Okay.
Right.
I've been a business owner for 25 years, and I look, I don't know what this says about me or whatever, but whenever Republicans are in charge, business is booming. My life is good. I have no financial problems whatsoever. When Democrats are in charge for whatever reason, I'm hurting. I'm like, I feel it in my bank account. I feel it in my quality of life, in my business. I used to have an office. I used to have an employee. I used to I used to make, thousands of dollars a month in my sleep just from residuals. Yeah. Now I'm working from home. I'm basically a
Yeah.
one-man show again.
Mhm.
I have I
My
don't have
wife's right there with you. That's
Yeah.
what she does now.
I don't have a
Mhm.
pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of, and a lot of it is because of decisions that Sisolak made.
Mhm.
You
Yeah, I've
know,
got my cousin Wendy works out there on the strip, and yeah, I feel for you, man. That's
it's infuriating. So
yeah.
on one hand, it looks like Sisolak is not going to win,
Mhm.
but again, I don't want to sound like I'm not a Republican or a
Mhm. Yeah,
conspiracy
I've got the
theorist,
graphic up right here. If
but
you can't see it on the
yes,
screen,
thank you.
yeah.
But I just don't like the holdup, I guess, is all these mail-in ballots. Now, if he comes back and he wins, there's going to be a fucking riot in the streets. Like if he wins because of mail-in ballots, because that's the whole reason he hasn't conceded yet.
Okay.
That's just going to reek of corruption
Right.
or
Mhm.
election fraud or something. And I don't know. For me, I know everybody's focused on the House and the Senate. For me, Sisolak, like if he wins somehow, I'm leaving Nevada. Like I mean,
Mhm.
I'm at that point where the man is all the decisions that he has made. I've witnessed countless businesses. One of the main reasons it hurt my business so much is because I work primarily, I do internet marketing and web design and in event promotion and promotional
Okay.
products and all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff like that.
Mhm.
Anything has to do with marketing your business. But I work with mostly like overwhelming, like 99% of my clients are local,
Right.
and they're 99% of those are mom and pops,
Mhm. Yeah.
and several of them went completely out of business and never reopened. And some of them aren't even mom. I'm talking like big places,
Mhm.
like High Scores had 2 locations. They're a barcade.
Mhm.
They're gone. They're never
Right.
coming back. No, and they were awesome.
Yeah.
Elixir, pandemic put them out of business. They're gone. They're never coming back.
Mhm.
Um, you know, um,
And that's a shame. And
It
that
really is.
has totally to do with the state's politics, because you
yeah,
look at states like Florida and Texas,
Mm-hmm.
they did it right. They kept the
yeah.
doors
Ex-
open
and again,
and
those are just, I mean, coincidence. I don't know. Red
mhm.
states. I mean, come on. I don't
Hey,
get it. So
yeah.
here's where they like. I wish we had. This is why I'm a registered libertarian. Is like if fucking Republicans could just get off of these social issues. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I feel like if we had a party that was like financially responsible, like Republicans, in like had the Republican business savvy and just like their know-how of how to
Mhm.
do stuff, government wise.
Yeah.
But that same party had not all, but a healthy amount of the Democrats' social issues.
Right.
Because I mean, I don't know. Like I told when everybody was telling me about this red wave that was coming, I was like, "There's no way." And then they'd be like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Because they overturned Roe v. Wade, man. That was the worst.
Yeah.
Thing.
Right.
They shot
Mhm.
themselves in the foot when they did that. They
Yeah.
really, really
Mhm.
did.
Yeah.
Because there's so many people, and we're in the
Now let's be clear.
21st
Let's
century.
make this clear. Let's make this clear, guys. Just so you guys know, the Roe v. Wade decision isn't it has nothing to do with stopping abortion. What it did was it kicked that decision back to the states. That's what
Exactly.
that did.
And then you have all these state, yeah, and so
Yeah.
yeah,
That's why. Yeah,
but
that's the big problem with
but
it,
but
because
they
my
made
state
that.
should not be able to tell me whether or not I can abort a fetus.
Mhm.
And like again, I got no dog in that hunt. I agree.
Mhm.
I respect every woman's rights.
Mhm.
Like I really do.
Yeah.
It's the 21st century. I think it's ridiculous
Mhm.
that we're still arguing over like what somebody can do with their own fucking body. And before I even got in here, you said something about
Slavery in
yes,
Louisiana?
Yeah,
slavery.
I'm gonna read
The
that here in a second.
21st
It shocked
century.
Are
the
you
hell out of me when I
kidding
read it.
me?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? It was on our ballot that we voted
Yeah.
on
Hang on.
yesterday.
It's almost
show you
as
just a second.
ridiculous as
Mhm.
like, some states where it's still technically illegal to perform sodomy. I mean, and that's not my thing, but that's still on the, like, what is that going to be on a ballot soon? And
Right?
just,
Yeah, it will be. If slavery showed up in Louisiana, there's no
Yeah.
telling what's going to show
So
up on a ballot.
I'm just
Here it is right
so-
here. Here it is right here. Hang
right.
on 1 second. So you can see this. Amendment number 7 failed. Limits on involuntary servitude. The proposed amendment to rework the state constitutional ban on slavery and involuntary servitude, allowing their use only for the lawful administration of criminal justice, failed 61% to 39. When even the author of the amendment opposed it because the language was confusing, and it was completely
very.
confusing.
So you know what else was confusing? That can you dumb that down for me? Like I don't even know what that means.
I don't even know what it means either.
Okay.
But what I think it was trying to say was
So is slavery now illegal
no,
or
it's
legal?
not. No, what the amendment was trying to say was, and it's got to be one of these things that's been on the books forever. First forced servitude over like a debt or something like that, except for lawful
So
administration
like chain
of
gangs
criminal
are still
justice.
legal, type of
Exactly.
thing. Okay,
Exactly.
yeah.
Working.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've got one prison here that is a huge work farm, man.
Pea
So
farm.
yeah,
You
the
watching
people.
you watching Andor at all?
Yeah, hang on just a second. Let me hit
Sorry.
these chats and hey, we can go wherever we want to, man. I just
There's
want,
a funny parallel between the last episode of Andor and what we're talking about. So anyway.
okay. Well, I may not have seen that yet. Hang on
Oh, okay.
one second. Let me
Yeah,
get to
because
some of
I
these
wasn't as into it, so he doesn't get to watch it at home. He has to
Yeah.
watch it when he's at
I have
work.
to watch it. I have to watch it when I'm away from the house. Let's see. Christian says it's the same in Canada. Conservatives good and liberals bad. Now let me explain something to you now, Christian. Now, I'm kind of like Dan on this. Okay. I'm a conservative person when it comes to my wallet. I want the government out of my wallet. I want the government out of my bedroom. I want them out of my house. But I'm liberal when it comes to like when I was raising my daughter, I would show her movies as long as it didn't have sex in it. If it had blood and gore and cussing, I would show them to her, and I
Yeah.
would tell her, it's ketchup, it's
Yeah.
movie magic,
Yeah.
I'm liberal in as far as I think that as long as you're not hurting yourself or anybody else, I shouldn't be telling you what to do.
Can I say
know?
something about the thing with your daughter? That's funny.
Go ahead, man.
I use the because I have 4 kids and I'm very similar to you, and I use the word fuck as an example. Okay,
Mhm.
so if in a movie, there's fucking like
Mhm.
sex,
Yeah.
no.
No,
But if
don't show it.
but
Yeah.
they can have 100 like they can say the word fuck a million times as long as they're
They're
not
going to hear it out of
talking
me a
about.
million times.
Yeah,
My
as
kid
long as
used to
they're-
tell her friends that I had Tourette's when I'd be playing Madden. Okay.
Oh,
She used
yeah.
to tell them.
But we've had the cops called on us, people thinking that we were fighting when it was him playing video games.
So I
Yeah,
totally get you there, and I would also, I bet we are probably a lot like, when you're taking care of the sick and the old, I guess I lean more liberal, but,
Or vets.
or
Gotta take
vets,
care of the vets
you got to
too.
take care of the vets, the sick, the
That's a
old.
good segue.
You
We got Pope Italicus in here. How do you, man? Let's see. Oh, they make those questions as hard to understand as possible so more people will guess their way.
Right? It's like, I don't know what the
Yeah,
hell I'm
talking about
voting
the
for on
amendments,
some
yeah.
of these
Oh,
ballot
look,
initiatives.
Joe and I were standing there reading that amendment about slavery, and we just looked at each other like, "What the
Why
hell?
is slavery on the
What
ballot?
is this even doing here?"
It was
I don't know,
crazy.
man. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, go. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead, Joe. Back to
No,
your.
you're good. You're
yeah.
good. I was just saying that I don't like the label thing. I don't like the.
I don't
like
either. That's
don't
why,
like
like
the-
I said,
if you're going to describe me, I would say I'm a conservative, is what I would say.
in
But there are
theory,
things I'm liberal
on
you know.
paper, that's why I'm a libertarian. On paper, libertarian seems perfect. But
Mhm.
these
Yeah.
people who run as libertarians are usually batshit crazy, can't
Yeah,
get
they
elected
are.
into
And
office.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
Well,
You know?
what we've got is lack of leadership, man. Well, a lot of people that get into politics get into it for the grift these days. They don't get into it
Yeah.
to serve the public, and you know
They get it like when it was supposed to be public service. Like this
Yeah.
is something I've wanted. I've preached about forever, and I used to write. For a website. It's no longer around. It's called Postmodern Moron. And I used to do the political stuff there because I used to be a political junkie. Now I've completely disconnected. Well, not complete, but like I'm not nowhere near as engaged as I was. And I would write about how they need to put term limits on these senators and Congress people. This is ridiculous. Like for someone like Harry Reid, I mean, I'm glad he's retired now, but like for him to have been in like or Nancy Pelosi, are you kidding me?
Right.
Yeah.
Like these hey Anima, these career politicians, like that's where people just need to do their 4 years, get the F out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Well, I don't know the term limits are the answer, but I think what needs to happen is I think they either need
Right.
tighter ethics as far as making money while you're in office.
Right.
But that's not going to happen.
Don't even get me started on the lobbying bullshit. Like it's no,
but
because
that's something that well, money in the political process, that's what makes the world go
And
around.
these-
But
Well, and that can be helped with term limits.
and there
You think?
it totally can be helped with term limits, totally. Because the big part, especially so if you look at these lobbyists and they establish these relationships with these politicians over decades now.
Oh yeah.
Decades.
And so they get their folks to vote for them to keep them in office, and that way they keep their cash cow in there.
It's
Because as long as we get our folks to vote for you, you keep giving back to us. So that money just keeps cycling back and forth between them.
Testify. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm the non-political one on this panel.
No, but you have common sense. You have reason. You don't have to be political to have, good Lord.
Hi, I'm running
Hey,
errands. How long
Cornballs.
you going, Joe? Hi, everyone. Courtney, just like every week, darling, I'll be cutting it off at 7:30 like I always do. That's Central Time. I'm going to be going for another hour and 10 minutes.
Well,
we'll be here.
AEW starts in 30 minutes, so you know me.
Yeah,
man,
I know you got to watch that. But yeah. Now, look, guys, this guy wants to do a show with me, and he wants me to co-host it.
I do.
And I'm actually, now look, this is the girl that can testify on this. I'm actually willing to give up an afternoon football game to do this with you.
Well, then
And
here's the
you
thing, man.
haven't talked to me about it yet.
Okay, so
Jesus.
hey, so we're here. Let's schedule some time, please, where you and I can get together. You can show me how to do this
StreamYards thing?
StreamYard thing. Yeah.
I already
And,
offered to do that.
No, I know you did.
talked
I know you did. I've been going through a lot, so I don't know. I don't think we're Facebook friends, but I'm actually about to get off Facebook.
Are you?
The only reason I was off Facebook for a couple years,
Mm-hmm.
and I took a position as a marketing director with a charity here in Vegas, called the Las Vegas Cosplayers Alliance. Great charity.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures you got.
But
there, man.
I'm no longer with them. But the only reason I got back on Facebook is because that's where they do all their communication and event planning and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I had to get back on Facebook.
Mhm.
And the other day, since this is going to be on the internet forever, we'll just say we came to terms with my departure and I resigned. And again, an amazing charity, worthwhile charity. People, please still check them out, cossplayersalliance.org. But now that I'm no longer a part of that charity and I have no need to be on Facebook, I made a post kind of like letting everybody know I'm not with the charity anymore. And then I was leaving Facebook. And if you wanted my contact info to keep in touch, hit me up. And I'm going to let that linger, and then either tonight or tomorrow morning, I'm going to deactivate my Facebook again. I've already deleted it off my phone and everything.
Yeah.
So I've kind of been going through a lot. CC left me. I got a
Mm.
concussion. I sound like a country song. The
Yeah,
transmission.
you do.
No, the
You sure
transmission.
do.
The transmission in my car went out, so I'm basically stranded. It's
Allows
not.
drunk.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, right.
my mom got out of prison. That's my favorite
Yeah,
one.
yeah. And I'm a recovering alcoholic. It's doing everything in me to not turn
Oh,
to the
my
bottle
brother.
right now.
Look,
You and
you
my
are
wife have a
in
lot
good
in common.
company. I'm a compulsive gambler in recovery on the 17th of this month. So next Thursday, 8 days from today, I'll have 11 years off the bet.
Oh, nice.
And she
Well,
used to go to your town all the time, and she has not been there since.
I'm starting to finally hear that echo you were talking about. It wasn't
Yeah,
there, but it comes and
it'll
goes, I
happen.
guess.
Well, she gets kind of
I get
lively.
loud sometimes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I like your hair, by the
Oh,
way.
thank you.
Yeah. What's your Joe? You gonna introduce me to your wife?
Yeah. That's the Royal Fox. But
Rhonda.
her real name's Rhonda.
Rhonda. Okay, Rhonda. I'm Danny. Nice to meet you, Rhonda.
Hi, Daddy. It's nice to
Um,
meet you. This is my very first time doing a stream.
Oh, you're great, and you look way better than this guy, so you're fine.
There you go. See? I'm telling you, she's my better half.
Okay. So again, only because I'm so disconnected. The only politics I give a shit about is Nevada. What is she talking about? What's going on in
Oh, she's talking
Pennsylvania?
about Fetterman and Oz. I'm sure that's what she's talking about.
What's
Fetterman
going on?
won.
I don't
Fetterman-
know anything about that.
Oh, well, Fetterman is a guy that.
I guess he's the
Well,
Democrat. Is that?
Yeah, well, he's a Democrat, but
Okay.
and she says, "Nice to meet you, Rhonda." Anima
Aw.
Confusa does.
Hi.
I'm gonna dox
I've heard your
Anima.
name.
Her name is also Danny, just spelled differently.
There
Ah.
you go. There you go. But apparently, this guy Fetterman, he had a stroke recently, and he's not in good condition physically. And apparently, they spent the most money in a state senate race
To get
ever
Dr.
to
Oz.
get him in office, so basically his wife can run it.
Okay. Somebody's knocking on my door. I'll be back.
All right, man.
Probably,
See you when you get back.
Election. Oh no, the election's over. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll be here. Yeah, check out his avatar, Rhonda.
I love it. We have to pull out our pictures of us in our Star Trek uniforms.
Oh yeah. Well, if you can find it, you go for it. And just email it to me, and I'll put it up. Anima Confusa says the PCM's other Danny, laugh out loud. Yeah, the pop culture minefield. Other
Gotcha.
Danny. Yeah. And let's see, what's Christian saying? Christian says, and a stroke due to the jab. Wow,
Is that
was
really?
what it was?
I didn't realize that it was from that.
I just knew he'd had a stroke. I didn't know it was from that. Oh my God.
Yep.
That's kind of scary. I'm not going to get into that.
No, that's
YouTube reasons, but
I was going to say that's a minefield of its own.
the only reason why we got the jab was last year. The atmosphere was so chilling that my mother had just moved to Maine, and we usually take a trip every year to check on her. And we were going to get on a plane. We were about to get on a plane in a few months, and it really seemed like they were about to make you have to get it to get on a plane.
Even to fly domestic, because they had already did it to fly international.
Yeah.
But our fear was that they were going to make it even for domestic flights, and we had already spent all that money on airfare for our East Coast swing.
Yeah.
And because both of us had decided we weren't going to do that, and we were the only ones at work that hadn't.
Yeah, that's a fact. But my mother had just lost her husband. She was living in Alabama, and she was about an hour north of where Small Time Republic lives. Matt, God love him, the guy that's having laptop problems. But like I said, she just lost her husband. She was just going home for the first time in years to live there, and I wasn't going to be told I wasn't going to get on a plane to see my mother. So we went ahead and got what was it, Moderna one? Is that what we got, Rhonda?
Yeah, I think so.
And, so, yeah, but I am not triple vaxxed by any means. That I just did that so I could get on a plane. Anima Confucius says the U.S. don't let unvaccinated people in ATM
And at the moment,
in at the moment. Really, I didn't know that. I need that to change so I can finally go meet Gary. Yeah, that's right. You're in Canada, aren't you? Yeah. Or no. I believe you're in Northern Europe, aren't you? I can't remember, Anima. I try not to pry into your business. So, uh, let's see. Christian says, same here, Joe. We all jabbed like you guys. We need to go to Chicago. I hear you. And let's see. Oh, Croatia. Wow. You're a Croat. Wow. Southern Europe. I got you. Okay. You're an Eastern Bloc lady. Nice. Okay. I like it. I just gained a whole new level of like for you, young lady. Very cool. All right. But anyway, yeah, the whole thing with Fetterman and Oz. Well, first of all, that's two bad choices. Okay, that's two bad choices. Oz, Dr. Oz.
Doc Oz. Yep.
I mean, come on, man. What is that? Let's see. Austrian, but went to live by the sea. I got you. Very cool. Very cool. Um, but anyway, so they didn't get the red wave they wanted, but I've said this several times, and I've had to walk my brother in off the ledge, and by my brother, you guys know who I mean, the guy that hosts the show with me on Thursday nights, Highlander. Um, these things go in waves, man,
Yep.
and right now the current wave, it's look, the pendulum is swinging back, but it's not going to swing back fast. It's not going to swing back fast at all. So just got to be patient. You got to keep your voice heard, and that's one thing I always tell. I don't know if any of you guys saw the short that I put out yesterday when I was trying to get people to go vote. I don't care what your politics are. I just know this: a whole lot of people died, so
Hmm.
we had the right to go have a revolution every 2 years without a shot fired,
That's
and
right.
uh, a lot of people have given their lives for that, and it should not be uh, minimized at all. You're a citizen, you need to go vote. And I used to go round and round with a friend of mine at work. This poor guy, I mean, he was young and he said, I just don't see any use in it. And I'm like, oh man,
My
um,
vote makes a difference, and I'm the type of person I like to complain about things. I do.
yes, yes. And if you
And if
don't,
I don't vote, I don't have the right to complain
Nope.
you don't. You sure don't.
because I didn't make my voice heard at the front end. I don't get to bitch about it on the back end.
Yep, that's it. That's it exactly. Okay, well, let's go ahead and move on from our political talk, and let's get into something
Good, because I don't like politics anyway.
No, you don't. I do.
I
It's
know
it's
you.
cool as sports to me. All right, it's really cool. But anyway, let's move on to the next subject we were going to talk about tonight, and that's going to be. Hang on, I may have one more comment on that. Let's see. Christian says, "But you guys in the states experience fortification. Kerry Lake
Should
should
have
have
been a
been
shoe
a shoe in. Yeah, well, fortification. This is a new. Well, actually, it's not a new territory. It's just we have the technology now to catch stuff like this, and I don't know what the case is there. I don't know if that's what's going on. I did see yesterday there was some footage coming out of Maricopa County in Florida, which looked like a lot of things were getting. I think that was in Florida. I'm not sure. I'll have to look that up. But it sure looked like they had something messed up going on there. And you know, if you haven't seen 2000 Mules, you need to check it out, and you need to stay vigilant. You need to, get involved. But if you stay at home, you're not doing anything. So, your vote does matter. You need to
Hmm.
get out there and do it. Let's see. The next one we wanted to talk about tonight is my favorite subject going on right now.
Oh
And
my
that's, oh man, it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
goodness.
This one says 8 celebrities who have said they're leaving Twitter due to
My
Elon
heart's broken.
Is your heart
Celebrities are leaving Twitter.
leaving Twitter because Elon Musk's evil self is going to, first of all, make him pay for a blue check mark, and and they don't like his leanings politically, apparently. A lot of these guys are quoting. Well, here's the tweets. You got Sarah. I don't. I butcher names. What is it? Bareilles says she'll connect with fans on other platforms. Let's see what her tweet
Because
said.
she's actually the one sitting on Twitter and making her own tweets. My ass hurts.
What?
She's not the one that's connecting with her fans on Twitter now. She has a publicist or she has a manager that does it. She hasn't seen a tweet that her fans done yet.
Okay.
None of them do. They don't do their own stuff.
Okay.
They have people to do that for them, like their laundry.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Not all of them are like that, Rhonda. Not all of them are.
Okay.
Nobody can tell me that James Woods is paying somebody, unless they're a comedian, to write his tweets. Because James Woods is one of the most entertaining people I've ever seen on Twitter, and he is funny as hell, man. But her tweet says, day of days with something fun soon to be revealed, blah blah blah, whatever. Um, who else?
Sounds like a publicist. Okay.
Yeah. Shonda Rhimes.
That's
was
the girl that did the ER.
She's from what?
She wrote ER.
She wrote.
No, well, she was a producer on ER. Yeah,
Wow.
the show. Yeah.
Okay. All right. These aren't the actual tweets where they left. Gigi Hadid.
A model.
Okay. Deactivated her account. Who else we got here? Tony Braxton.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like the cast of Dancing with the Stars to me. They're all serious. What's? I mean, I thought
That's
these were actual
hilarious.
celebrities, man. What the heck? Twitter fosters hate speech. How do they foster hate speech? I don't get that one.
I mean,
Whoopi
I have a.
Goldberg says she's done with the platform. See, this is the one that breaks my heart right here. Well, it is because she's look, she's a talented person. I've
Yes.
always enjoyed Whoopi's movies and everything, but she should have never taken that job on The View.
Nope.
I mean,
I quit watching it when she got on there.
yeah, a lot of people did. Me myself, I enjoy her work in movies and stuff,
Yep.
but man, I can't. No, I can't.
Yeah, because I'm hearing a Sister Act 3 is coming out. Oh,
Yeah. Yep. Alex Winter locked his account. Who is?
I have no idea who Alex
Once
Winter
again, I
is.
gotta ask who? Who is Alex Winter? Of course, I may be too old to know who these
Yeah.
people are.
Me too.
Tia Leone, I know who she is. Says Twitter has too much hate, and I'm seeing a lot of hate.
Well, so does Facebook, and so does, I mean, the news has too much hate, so let's shut that down too. Newspapers, which, if there are any around, there's too much hate in that. So let's just shut it all down.
Nah. Well,
That's their view.
Ken Olin encourages positivity with his exit. Okay, don't know who Ken Olin is, but anyway, we got a lot of upset people because Elon Musk has bought Twitter and turned it private, and all of a sudden, I guess they're not going to have all their bot followers like they used to have. I don't know, but I made this point the other night when I was on my brother's show when this first started happening, when they first started saying, hey, we're going to leave Twitter. That proves to me two things. One, you don't believe in what you're talking about, because if you did, you would stay and fight the good fight. And number two, they live in a different world than we do. They've been catered to most of their lives, so when people don't cater to them, they don't know how to adjust to it.
Right.
And I've told that story several times about my man Kerry Collins. He was a quarterback for the Panthers that got them to the championship game in like the second year of their existence in the early 90s. And then he had a steep drop off because he fell into a bottle. He became an alcoholic. And they sent him the worst place they could have sent him, New Orleans. And yeah,
Party City.
I'm sure he was on Bourbon Street every damn night. But then when you and I got together and I told you about my one addiction, which is the NFL, you decided to go ahead and take the ride with me and learn the game and everything. And we watched that first Super Bowl together, and we were both pulling for Kerry Collins and the Giants. Of course, they ran into a buzzsaw called Ray Lewis and the Ravens. They didn't have a chance. But in an interview that week, the interviewer that was talking to him, I think it was a female, I can't remember, but was asking him, hey, what's with the big turnaround? Your career was over. And he said, well, I have to give all the credit about that to my wife. And the interviewer asked, well, why is that? Well, she's the first person that ever told me no.
That's right.
And that just tells you right there. I mean, if these guys are athletically gifted, or if they're a talented person as far as an actor, musician, whatever, they're going to be coddled. Because people are going to want to go on the ride with them, and they're not going to want to upset them, and they're going to want to. And some of them are money grabbing leeches that want to get their hands in their
Absolutely.
pocket. So they just coddle them, and I just, when I heard that, I was like, wow, that's amazing. That there would be, a person that never got told no. It's wow.
It's I mean, because you get spoiled to it. I mean, think about kids. If you tell them yes and you give them everything you want, they become brats.
Yeah.
You have to.
This seems like a brat. I'm taking my toys and going home.
Absolutely. That's my point. And they're not able to get what they want out there on their terms. So I'm going to take my ball and I'm going to go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, we all have to put up with stuff that we don't like.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. But I don't see any problem. Well, when it comes to social media platforms, first of all, these days I use them just to blast out. You know me, I'm sitting there for 15 minutes just copying and pasting alerts from my show. And yes, well, I've trimmed it down a little bit. I can do it in about 20 minutes now. But when I first started doing this, I was doing it for an hour.
Yes.
But I've figured out a good system for getting it out there. But I've got like 10 different social media platforms that I blast it out on. I stay on Facebook because that's where my family's at. That's where I can see what they're doing. Except for my daughter. My daughter doesn't believe in the politics I do.
Nope.
It all skipped a generation. Me and my brother have kids that are like damn near communist leaning. And well, they are.
They are.
I missed I missed everything you guys were talking about. I'm sorry. That was actually not that was a friend checking on me because of my my Facebook post. So.
Oh.
Okay. Well, good. You didn't like threaten violence or anything on it, did you?
No, I just said no. I mean, I'll put it up on the screen. Okay, absolutely.
You don't
put it on my
put
it on my Instagram.
Do that, buddy.
All it said was like, hey, now that I don't have to. The short version was now that I don't have to be on Facebook anymore, I'm getting off. If you need my contact info, hit me up. Otherwise, deuces.
Yeah. Well, that can be misinterpreted. I can completely see somebody that cares about you checking on you. Yeah, because that could definitely.
But it's funny because we started talking about the election, and now he's put the fear of God in me. He's like, you realize, because we were talking about Sisolak.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm like, oh no, he's 5.5 percentage points down. There's no way he's gonna win off of mail-in ballots. He's like, bro, the Biden won the election
I was fixing to say,
Right.
with way more,
about
know.
every one of those is going to be, left
So
leaning,
now he's
yeah.
like, no, I'm serious. Like, it's here, it's live. And it'll be on YouTube forever. If Sisolak wins, I'm leaving Nevada.
You're out.
I'm gonna go back to either Texas or North Carolina. I can't anymore.
And I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah.
I can't see anything to where I would do that if because, well, first of all, everybody that gets elected down here is blue, man. They all are. We hardly ever. And what's funny is most of the population is conservative. That's what's ridiculous to me. But
these social
the side
issues,
of the river
I think,
we
man.
live on is conservative. Okay,
Mhm.
It's a long going. It's knowledge in the Twin Cities here, Shreveport and Bossier. You party in Shreveport, but you live in Bossier. Okay,
Yep.
because you hear all the time about Shreveport cops getting in trouble and stuff like that, and you don't ever hear a word about the Bossier police.
And it's not that the Bossier police don't do it, but they take care of it.
They stick together like the mafia, man. They are, and nobody plays in this city, dude.
No.
They don't. And
Speaking
and
of,
the reason why is because of the Air Force Base. They don't ever
Yeah.
want to lose the Air Force Base. You
Yeah.
know, so
a bunch of my older friends, they keep. That's funny you mentioned the mafia because they say, Vegas was better when the mafia ran it. I hear that so much from my older
Right?
friends.
hey,
It's like I miss that era, bro. I've only been here 13 years, so I was like,
no, we had moved on to all these celebrities that are leaving Twitter, and
good riddance. Get rid of it.
Right.
well, hey, I've been telling everybody, man, I have been wearing this video right here out on friggin'. You've probably seen me put it up on one of these damn goose whenever they say it. I always put this on as a response.
Let me help you back.
You know there was no
Pack. No, like Kadish, Matthew Kadish from Salty Nerd.
No,
Oh, he's good friend of mine.
Mhm.
He's kind of a big deal because wait, now everybody can have a check mark. I just like
yes,
busting balls.
everybody can pay for
So
it.
now, he's a published author. He's directed Jeremy Renner in a movie. He used to work in Hollywood. He's extremely intelligent person who I have a ton of respect for. SaltyNerdPodcast.com. Check him out.
Okay.
He tweeted he tweeted something about Whoopi Goldberg leaving,
Oh.
and I replied with, "Well, she hasn't been relevant since TNG, so good riddance."
Well, and you know what? She said she was going to leave the United States if Trump got in office. So why is she the fuck still
Why is she
here?
still here?
Yeah, celebrities say that crap all the time.
Her and Rosie O'Donnell, they were supposed to leave the country.
Yeah, Alec Baldwin, which maybe he wouldn't have killed somebody had he left. But
Right? Now
I
he's
mean,
wasting people.
Let's
Man.
get real.
But
If they're not going to stick to what they say
yeah,
over and over again in the public eye, on TV, on any media outlet, then why should I care whether they're on Twitter or not?
and so it's funny. So the other Salty Nerds are 4 people. It's Matthew Kadish, Matthew Vader, Juju, and Alex, the original Salty Nerd. And so Kadish has always been like, I'm a big deal because I have a blue check mark, blah, 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 blah. And so then like today, Vader
See where this is going.
Vader paid his $8 and got his check mark and started roasting him on Twitter. And it was so funny. So then I'm like, I wanted to join in. So I was going to do it. You can only do it if you have an iPhone. I don't have an iPhone.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
And it says in parentheses, for now, because I went to go try to get it so I could.
I think I saw a
pile
tweet
on.
like that earlier today.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I think I saw somebody had posted that they
Look,
couldn't.
I have a Twitter account. I couldn't tell you the last time I looked at Twitter, so maybe I'll just go pay my $8 and get a blue check mark.
Twitter's my favorite. It's the only one I can say I'll stay on because you have way more control over your, like, you can mute people, block people.
Yeah.
I like the lists, and I interact with a bunch of my friends that way. And
Mhm.
I also think it's kind of generational because it seems like when I so on my post on the Facebook, when I said I'm leaving Facebook, either hit me up for my contact info, or you can always just follow me on Twitter at DorkNightLV.
Right.
And dude, I had so many people hit me up like, I don't use Twitter, man. I was like, well, you want my phone number? It's like, it's not a big deal. It's like,
Not that big deal, man.
you know,
Not a big deal. Yeah, I use Facebook to keep up with my family. I have a large extended family. My mother is one of 10
that's
kids.
what this is for. I talk
Right,
to my
right.
mother every day.
Right.
You know, my brother and I, we don't talk as often as I like, but we like.
Mhm.
If my mom, those are bad examples because my mom and my brother Chris are not on Facebook.
Mhm.
But I figure like, I don't know, man. I hate Facebook. I hate social media. Everybody thinks it perpetuates this true story. I know this is going to sound fake. This is true. My son, who's about to be 25,
Mhm.
in just in 4 short days, he'll be 25.
Oh.
And he
What's
can
he
rent his
doing for a
own
living?
car. He works. I'm actually very proud of him. He's an RBT certified instructor at a place called Sports Social, where he works with autistic children, and he's been doing that for a very long time. Good Lord, like
Hats off to him, man.
he was the youngest person hired there. I think he got hired at like 16 or 17, so he's been there like 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
He's
Wow.
and he makes very good money, and I could not be more proud of him. I am bummed that he lives 10 minutes away and I see him maybe 4 or 5 times a year. That sucks because
Yeah.
I was a single dad and it was just the two of us for so long. I thought
Right.
I thought we were,
Right.
So,
They leave the nest
No,
eventually, dude.
They leave the nest
But
and
you know
then
what? He'll be back for money. Don't worry about that.
the only time he hits me up, it's so funny you say that. I was literally just talking to my buddy who checked on me about this. Only time Devin, my son, hits me up is when he needs weed or money.
Mhm.
Weed's legal out here, by the way, folks. So I'm
Right.
just saying.
Yeah.
But that's the only time he hits me up. So when he calls me out of the blue, it's literally like kind of been this running gag for the last 5 years. Okay, buddy, weed or money? Like that's literally what like weed or money. Oh, it ain't like that, pops. Blah blah blah. And like talk, and then and then they'll come around and then
Well,
hey, you think I could swing by? Maybe grab a pre-roll or maybe like $50 or something. I'm like, motherfucker, I told you at the beginning of this conversation.
yeah, we started this conversation.
Let's cut to the
Weed
chase.
or money.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
No, but I love him. I could.
Wolfman's here. Let's see.
Hey, Das Wolf. Hey, John.
Hello.
Hey,
Let's see. It says, "Sorry, I laid down to read this afternoon and fell asleep." Well, man, the invites in the thread. Jump in if you want to, man.
Because I in 4 minutes I got a hard out because I'm watching wrestling.
You go wrestling, man. And I really do. Yeah. Before you get off, now that you mentioned that, let's go ahead and set this up. Let's go ahead and get together about you Pacific or Mountain?
I'm Pacific. It's 4:57 p.m. where I'm at right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's get together at 2:00 your time. That would be 4:00 my time this Sunday. And I'd actually like to keep the show in that window.
Sunday.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sunday,
You want to wait
Sunday.
that long? I want to get this thing started, man.
I have a lot of work, dude. I'm
Okay.
working on that comic
All right.
book sign. Look, she could tell
Yeah.
you, I do not do shit on Sunday. That is
Two-
my one day off. So
2
2:00 your
Sunday.
time, which is
All right,
4
I got
o'clock
your
my time.
email. I'm actually going to do a Google Calendar thing, and I'm
There
gonna
you
send
go.
Do it, man. Do it.
I'll have to show him how that works. Because as much as he does technology, he doesn't know how to do that stuff.
I live and die by the Google. So I have a Google Pixel phone, and I put everything in my Google Calendar, like even if it's just reminders, and I don't even use the reminder feature. I put it in the Google Calendar. So because it gives you like a pop up. Hey, it's John.
There's
Hello.
John.
Hey.
Yeah, I got. Hey, that's nice that you're here. We got a little transition because I'm dipping out in 2 minutes.
Yeah, but we did actually set up a time for the Dork side of the ring. We're gonna
Yes.
get together and talk
Love
about
that.
it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Hey,
dorks.
by the way, the Royal Fox watches wrestling.
I'm a huge fan.
Just over her left shoulder, you will see the biggest white square on that wall underneath the TV set is Dean Ambrose, her favorite wrestler.
Oh, you're a John Moxley guy, huh?
I
Okay.
am. Look,
All right.
my dog's name is Daryl Ambrose. and he's named after Daryl Dixon from The Walking Dead and Dean Ambrose, my favorite wrestler.
Oh my God, that's too funny. That's too funny. Well, we'll have to have you on as a guest for sure. So
Oh,
why aren't you watching AEW? Mox is the champ right now. I think he's got.
I
open-
know, I
yeah.
know. Well, I've kind of pulled away from it during the vid when they didn't have a live audience. It's just not
Yeah.
quite the same without the live audience. When I saw all the TV faces, I just could not
Well,
really get into it.
That's WWE. The cool thing about AEW, they because they did it at Daly's place in Florida, where the laws were a little bit more lax, and,
Yeah,
they did have
and it was an
wasn't
outdoor
big
arena.
crowds, but
They didn't have huge crowds, but they had like a pockets of
Right.
people, so it was way better. But yeah, no, that that WWE Thunderdome era.
Oh
with
my gosh, that
screens,
was
that was
terrible.
Yeah, that was terrible. It was terrible. All right, but
It's- yeah,
I gotta get wrestling starting. I love you guys.
2:00.
It was nice to
Sunday.
meet you.
It was
You,
great
Jenny?
to meet you as well, John. You guys have fun, and yeah, Joe, you'll get an email from me here in a minute about that calendar thing.
Okay,
So,
I'm pulling
so-
I'm pulling for your Republican candidate against the guy you can't stand.
Thank you.
I'm sending
Yeah.
out the best vibes in the world. for that
I mean,
guy.
yeah, Cicilline can suck.
I
a
don't
dick.
want to see
And
you
with
have
that-
to go through the pain of moving. See you later, man.
All right.
Bye.
Be good.
Bye.
Bye. How you doing tonight, John?
I'm doing okay.
Meet the actual Royal Fox.
Live and in
Her.
person.
Meet you.
Her name's Rhonda,
Meet you.
John. Yeah, she thought she had a show tonight. That's the logo.
Oh my
for her
God. Yeah, this is,
business.
yeah, Rivers Inspired Doodles. Yeah, I thought I had a show, but I had my dates wrong. I packed up my car last night. I got off work a little late, rushed into the bank to get money for my cash box. And I'm sitting in there and I put the show address in my phone to make sure I go to the correct place. And then I'm looking at the invite and it's next week. I was like, you are, I called Joe. I said, Joe, your wife is a moron.
Don't feel bad. I've done the same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Pop Culture Minefield. Is that Gary or is that Keith saying? That's got to be Gary.
It's going to be Gary.
And look at him. He's not actually typing. He's going, am I watching? Yeah, that's him. I'm pretty sure you're on the thread, Gary. If you want to jump in here, man. Let's see. Anima and I am watching. Okay, cool. Very cool. Of course. All right. Cool, man. I think you're on the thread. Isn't he on the thread, John? I'm pretty sure he is.
I think so. I kind of closed the thread since.
But if I know him, he's probably not even paying attention to Pop Culture Minefield. I'll probably have to use his private one. Yeah, Pop Culture Minefield's on there. I just don't have his private one on there. I guess I need to add that one. But anyway.
Yeah. Well,
he can take a couple of seconds to check out his Pop Culture Minefield.
yeah.
Let's see. I am on a date with Anima. Very cool, man.
Nice.
Glad to hear that. But yeah, we had moved on from the elections to
Twitter.
yeah, I know your personal one, man. But you stay on that date. I'll add your personal one to the thread soon enough, buddy. Yeah. But yeah, we'd moved on to Twitter and how these people are making a big deal about what I like to call the boy that cried wolf. Oh, I'm leaving. And I was making the point that if you first of all, by doing that, you've told me that you don't believe in anything you're talking about.
Nope.
Okay. Because if you did, you would stay and fight the good fight.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God! Now he's really getting started. Whatever. You're not the boss of me. Gary, he's the greatest.
No, that
Let's
would
see,
be
Anna
Anima.
says, yeah, I left your chat to be with Gary. Sorry, no problem. No problem. All right. But the other thing is they're acting like spoiled kids, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Spoiled brats. Yeah.
gonna pick up they're acting like Cartman. Screw you guys. I got here. I mean, it's just so silly, man. It's so silly.
Did you see what the reception that a lot of them got when they jumped over to Mastodon?
Oh, I heard it was relentless.
Yeah,
From what I
wall-to-wall
understand.
racists were all
I
over
think I
him.
was watching the quartering was talking about. He said if you guys are thinking it's going to be better over on Mastodon, don't even try it, man. He said it was pretty bad.
Let's go. If we don't like what Musk is doing, let's go to a decentralized platform that has no oversight whatsoever.
None. And you just thought you were getting blasted over here, right? Wow, man. Yeah. What was it? Yeah, this video. I think I sent it to Pop Culture Minefield show, and they showed it one time. But this one right here,
Let me help you, Michael.
I've been wearing that one out. And there he is. I thought you were on a date, bro.
Yeah, she kicked me. She told me she doesn't love me anymore.
No way, bro. Well, meet my better half. The Royal Fox is sitting right there. Her name's Ron.
Hi.
Hello.
This is Gary.
Hi, Gary.
He's
So those are the boobs you play with, huh, Jeff?
That is the boobs I play with. Yes, absolutely. The only set of boobs I play with.
Who's this overlit guy next to me? Who is that?
You know who that is. I thought you were going to watch wrestling.
Well,
man.
I mean, it's on the TV, but I saw Gary hop in here, and I had to. Like, what the hell, man? You really you're giving up a date? And there's Anima.
Hey, my boyfriend.
So I just
look,
wanted to
it's the love of my life. Anima Confusa.
Yeah. So
I'm
hey,
sorry,
Gary,
I just remembered I'm in that group as well. So you see my boyfriend, here I am.
So well, I also get to say hi to Anima. Hello, hon.
Why is that one next to me and not my boyfriend?
Well, I'm about to leave. I just wanted to say hey. So there you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay. Well, all right. So 2 blocks over there, Gary. Joe, right before you got on, Joe and I set up. We're having our meeting 2 p.m. Sunday. I was actually working on the calendar thing when I saw you pop in, and we're gonna have our little pre-production meeting, and I'm gonna hit you up hopefully after that, and then maybe we can get this dork side of the thing rolling. But speaking of, the acclaimed have arrived, so I gotta go.
Look
All right,
out.
bye,
Somebody's in
guys.
trouble. All right, man. Take it
Well,
easy,
just let you
man.
know, Dork.
Yeah.
Dork,
Yeah.
Before you go, 1, fuck you. 2, no. 2 is Martin now has admin privs over at KGRA Radio StreamYard. Eventually, the goal is they're going to pick up all our shows.
Okay.
And it'll be an easy sell for wrestling.
So keep Martin in the loop.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
But here's the thing. None of us get paid for being on the radio. The way we get paid for being on KGRA is getting our own sponsors for our shows.
Yeah.
Getting paid by them. So you need to look towards getting the numbers up and getting your audience built and getting somebody to, because I'm sure you know somebody there that would be interested in backing you.
I'm actually really good friends with Rob Van Dam. And he's got this RVD. He's got this RVD CBD. I probably could get them as a sponsor.
RVD CBD.
Yeah, seriously. Don't
say that 10 times in a row.
Yeah, right. Oh, all right.
I know Rob's all about that. Get to the show.
All right, man.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys later.
Hey, I'm gay for your show, Dork.
I know you are, brother. We know you are.
I'm also gay for Anima.
Yeah, well, hey,
I don't think
I've
that's
always,
how that works. But
and I'm pretty sure Royal Fox can confirm this. I am a lesbian trapped in a man's body. So
Oh.
yeah.
Well, I was always told you were a cunning linguist.
That I can attest to.
So,
John, I hate to tell you this, but basic physics can pretty much explain an elephant on a pin. So if you can't figure out, how being gay for anime is for me, just ask a physicist. We have one now. We never required a rocket scientist for our show, but now we have one.
Yes.
John Brandenburg.
Yeah. He was on today. That was very cool.
He'll be on more.
I thought it was cool.
He's also going to be on in 2 weeks. He'll be back in 2 weeks to be on Dangerous Military Nerds when we launch our second week on KGRA.
All right. That'll work, man. I thought you were going on the radio this week.
So did I.
Wow.
Then we had our meeting on Monday. And Bill was like, really what it boils down to is Bill got sick as shit.
Okay.
and wasn't able to get everything set up. And he still needed some things from me. And because we couldn't have our meetings last week, we missed 2 days.
Mhm.
We just got pushed a week. So I wanted the show out this week because, well, the 11th is Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And by the way, have I told you about what I've always done on Veterans Day?
Yes.
I
I've heard
called-
you say
I
it
called in
plenty of
sick
times.
every job I've ever had. I'm like, if I don't get this off as a federal holiday as a veteran, I'm going to call in sick and take it off paid sick day.
There you
And
go.
I've done it at every job. And
Well,
no one ganked
I don't
me.
know if I told you about this. One of the laws that was just changed here in Louisiana.
Oh my
and
gosh.
It's very.
Did they
cool.
finally take the sodomy law off?
I don't know anything about that, man. I wouldn't
Louisiana
even
has
care.
one on the books. It's a sodomy law.
As of August 1st in Louisiana, in the state of Louisiana, if you are an honorably discharged veteran, which I am, I do not have to take a class for concealed carry. I do not.
Yeah, I
need a
love
permit
that. I
for
saw
it.
that
My
on the news.
permit is my DD 214 that says I was honorably discharged.
Also, that I was an expert.
Right?
Yeah,
An
it makes
expert.
Every weapon.
Right?
It makes no sense that you have to do that stuff. I mean, you know how to handle weapons.
Well,
right?
I mean, it varies state by state. I'm just glad my state recognizes.
We have actually you don't have to have a permit. It's just conceal and carry in Missouri.
Yeah,
really
us-
concealed carry in
Yeah,
Missouri
you
for
just
everyone.
can't have a psych eval that shows that you've got mental problems and own a gun.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Which eliminates a majority of the vets out there.
Well, we actually, because I just talked about that, I don't ever want to have a formal diagnosis
Mhm.
for some of the things I've got or make them known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, you're going
Well,
Jason here.
my son is a vet. I'm sure Joe's mentioned him on your show before.
Yeah.
But he's 100% disabled from PTSD.
Yeah. Mhm.
You
That's
know,
like my grandfather. Yeah.
Yeah. He was a military policeman in Iraq. He was a gunner on top of a Humvee. Yeah. So, yeah, he's a great guy,
Yep.
and I'm just so glad he got. Well, it's the same story you hear out of every vet. He had to fight for every bit of the freaking benefits he got, but
and it's
he
still
stuck
not
with
enough
it.
to survive on.
Yeah, no, it's not. But
With 100%, he should be getting a good paycheck.
well, he's doing okay, but he's in rural Maryland, and you know,
It doesn't go far.
it doesn't go far.
Yeah.
And you know, hey,
Cost of
he's
living higher,
what are you
yeah.
doing? What is he doing now? Ubering? Is that what he's doing?
DoorDash.
DoorDash. That's it. Yeah, he does that. And his wife does different things, but
I'm sorry,
I'm
thought
just
of
glad.
a really funny incident where it's like, take the fucking food.
Right. And this one,
Jesus
Damn
Christ.
food. I saw one. I think it was on Facebook where this DoorDash guy pulls up and realizes that it's the girlfriend's house that just broke up with his buddy, or cheated on his buddy or whatever. And he gets up there and says, "This is your Taco Bell," and he starts slinging it all over the place and throws it on the ground. And she's got a Ring doorbell, so it's all being recorded. Eat your food now, you know, and then walks off. You know, it was hilarious.
Oh my
It was
God.
hilarious.
I have one incident to share of a buddy of mine when he came back from Iraq. He was in the middle of probably one of the most important battles of the Iraq War was the Battle for Mosul. It started on June 24th of 2004. I wrote a book, screenplay, and he wrote the book. I wrote the screenplay, and then Dale Dye, you know, my boss, wrote a finished screenplay off of mine.
Mhm.
And when he got back, the end of it ends with him at McDonald's. He had just gotten back. He took the car, went to McDonald's the first day back, and he heard this guy in front of him complaining about his soda not having enough ice in it. And he's like, man, how do I come back to this? How do I come back to people complaining about not enough ice in their soda? And it took him a while.
He's looking at that guy. He's looking at that guy saying,
I got to tell you,
Yeah.
man, and and he asked me to put it in the back of the script, the very epilogue. You know, it's a scene. It was meant to be a scene after the credits,
Mhm.
and Dale. I think Dale took it out because he felt it was too personal, but I liked it, and I decided we were going to put it in the graphic novel, but ended up he just went. His PTSD got him screwy. And he called me with TDS, man, one day. He called me. I just got out of the hospital for 5 days due to a real problem with my diabetes. Almost died. I'm laying there just trying to get some sleep, and he wakes me up with a TDS meltdown. And I just said, fuck do you call me about this shit? Why? You know I don't fucking care. You know that.
Yeah.
And it was the last time we ever spoke. He just refused to call me. His TDS was too bad. So he had PTSD, he had anxiety and depression issues, and on top of that, TDS. And TDS damn near killed him. No, I'm just kidding. It didn't. But the other things messed him up.
Yeah.
And I talked him off the ledge many a time.
Yeah.
When things got bad after he got back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I tell you, man. I hate it for those guys that they have to go through stuff like that. But God love them, man. You know, my favorite, and I'm not a big Bible thumper, but my favorite Bible verse is John 15:13. It's the one that states, "Have no greater love than anyone than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends." That's my favorite. That's my favorite Bible verse. Always has been. And you know, I'm a veteran, but I was a veteran of the Cold War. The only time my life was in danger when I was working downrange at on Johnson Island, chemical weapons and stuff. You know what I mean? If there was a leak, I was in trouble. But you know, you guys that have fought in combat, it's just God love you, man. My hat goes off to you every year. And Veterans Day should be a national holiday, I think. But you know, and it's important to remember what that day is. It is the people that are still alive and may still be in the military that have fought and served their country. And then you've got, of course, you got Memorial Day. That's for those that passed in service.
Yeah, those who gave the greatest sacrifice you can give for this country.
Right.
Here, I shared something with you.
Got you.
There it is.
What you got here?
This is Jim Woodward. He's been on the show. He's I had all three of my best friends on from growing up, and he's one of my best friends to this day. And this has been on his Facebook page for years now. I did this a few years back, and it's that poem that says, "I was that which others did not want to be. I went where others feared to go, and did what others failed to do. I asked nothing from those who gave nothing, and reluctantly accepted the thought of eternal loneliness should I fail. I have seen the face of terror, felt the stinging cold of fear, and enjoyed the sweet taste of a moment's love. I have cried, pained, and hoped, but most of all, I've lived times others would say were best forgotten. At least someday, I will be able to say that I was proud of what I was, a soldier."
Nice.
And that's just my artwork.
Awesome.
I didn't write the poem.
Yeah. Oh, I know you didn't write the poem, but I recognize your artwork. This kind of stuff he's been doing for years. He does some really good stuff. He does. That's dynamite, man.
Yeah.
This is on your buddy's Facebook page?
Yeah, it's been at his profile, whatever that top is.
Okay.
For years. Let me see. 2012 is when he posted this.
Wow, man, that's really cool. I like that.
And Jim, of course, is a combat veteran. He's left little pieces of him on many a battlefield.
Yeah.
He's also very funny and not afraid of shitting on Gary. It was hilarious to have him on the show.
Him and Mike Beatty shit on
now,
me.
are you gonna do it? Are
great.
you gonna do a Veterans Day stream? Or are you gonna hook up with Pope and do that?
Yeah, when I get up in the morning, I always do a veteran stream.
Well, we know that.
And with that,
I try and make sure I'm there every Monday to keep you in check, but which is almost impossible. But Yeah. No, I know Pope's doing one. As a matter of fact, Critical Drinker did a review of that new movie that's on Netflix, and he said it was fantastic. So I might have to check that out. The only problem is
Which
I'd
one
have
is
to read
that?
it. It's a Netflix production. It's in German subtitles on All Quiet on the Western Front.
I'm not
is
going
the
to
name
watch
of
it. I'm not going to
Yeah.
watch it.
Mhm.
I've read the book, and I think the best adaptation was the original with Lou Ayres.
Yeah.
Um,
It's an old movie.
I'm just,
right? From like the
and don't get me wrong,
30s,
I
late
enjoyed
30s.
the mini series with Ernest Borgnine and Richard Thomas that
Mhm.
came out in the 70s. It wasn't
Yeah.
bad. The best version is with Lou Ayres. It's the most effective. They said they were going to adapt it. Oh, your wife left.
Oh, it should be back. Yeah, she'd be
Okay.
back.
When they made the film, this new film, they adapted it from what? It's not the book. I don't know what they adapted this from. This is just the director and writer's folly. And I have a
Mhm.
problem with that. It's like you think you can tell a better story than the original creator, the author of the
Yeah.
book. I immediately have a beef, and
Mhm.
I get pissed off when they do that. And I've been told by other veterans that they didn't like it.
Mhm.
Those were not just veterans; they were veterans who also have seen the original and read the book.
Yeah.
So they said it's just not worth it. So I'm probably not going to bother with it. But if
Mhm.
you've never read the book or seen the original film, you'll probably enjoy it.
I'm not a big fan of World War One. There's that whole thing looks like total just brutality to
Well,
me.
I have a World War I story called "The Bastard's Drum." It's the true
Mhm.
story of my grandfather and the shit he went through.
Mm-hmm.
He was there from day one to the last day
Oh,
of the war for the U.S. For the U.S.
yeah.
Yeah, which was like a year. It's
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
I say
Yeah,
that like you
yeah, it
spend
was-
2 weeks in combat
Right.
and you're traumatized. So he
Mhm.
spent a year over there. He was behind the lines with the French at first, and his
Mhm.
job was as a cannoneer.
Okay.
And but then all of a sudden, he became part of a bastard brigade,
Yeah.
and they put him on a machine gun. He wasn't trained on a machine gun; he was trained on the howitzer.
Right.
You know,
But
and
probably when you're saying bastard, clarify what you're talking about. They're slapping together.
they're made
troops
up
from
of
different
people thrown together. Yeah, from different groups.
units. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're putting them together.
And all of a sudden, he's like frontline in the trenches, firing a Hotchkiss machine gun, water-cooled machine gun, which had a fixed. It was fixed. It wasn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't rotate.
You're not rotating
it.
it.
Was fixed.
Yeah.
So he could only fire. Whoever would run across.
Run in
Run
front
in
of
front
him.
of the bullet. Hope that they
Yeah.
run in front of the bullet.
Makes
I say,
sense.
old man, thanks for running into the bullet.
Thank you.
And there is a moment when I wrote City of Fire, the screenplay, which actually was a comic book screenplay. It was for a graphic novel, but it was written in the format for a screenplay.
Yeah.
There's a moment in the real battle when the
Us
rear
writers
strike-
never throw anything away. You might use it
Well,
down the line. Yeah.
I will use this down the line because it was a great moment. It really happened.
Mhm.
And the guy in the rear striker, all the other strikers were the computerized 50s, and you controlled it from inside the vehicle. The last guy, it was the 72nd Striker Brigade, and he's up on this 50, hand mounted, and he's sitting there just leaning back against the hatch, and he's got his hands on the butterfly, just relaxed, not knowing anything's getting ready to go down. And some Haji, as he called it, jumped out in front of him, did a ha-ha jump, ha-ha, with an RPG, just kind of went up in the air, came down with this RPG aimed right at him. And he said, and the guy jumped right into my sights. I didn't have to move the weapon. I just went thump one time. And he got hit with a 50 caliber, and it blew the upper part of his body completely apart.
Those weapons are made for vehicles. They're not made for human beings. And I'm sure it blew
but
him
the
apart.
funny part
Good Lord.
is what I did in the script, because I changed it slightly, that right when he fired, the RPG went off. I had to give it a little drama, and I had it skim, because that did happen. Guys got skimmed many a time by RPGs.
Right past their head.
Right.
Yeah.
Skim went right past him, and he watches it after he drops the guy. There are a lot of funny moments in there, like the medic And that's why I wanted to write that story. Is the medic is the central character because
you're
most
a medic.
sold.
Yeah.
Well, most sold. No,
Also
it's
because
really
he's a central character.
it's a it's a strategic thing in storytelling because all the other soldiers are fixed in their position. They can't move. Who's the only one moving?
That's the medic. He's
The
all
medic.
over the place.
So the medic gets to experience the battle from every position. And that's why I decided, not because I'm a medic, but because I needed to tell the story so this one character could be our narrator and describe everything. And in real life, this really happened. He went to take these giant jugs of water. They're on nylon cords that he had to carry and run with these things. It was like 400 pounds. And he's running with these things. And there was a sniper up in the minaret on this mosque. And he kept taking pot shots at him as he was coming back. After delivering all that water without getting shot at, on his way back, the sniper just started shooting at him. Pop, pop, pop. Wow. And he's zigzagging, running, trying to get back to his vehicle, jumps into the back of the vehicle. And he's like, God damn. And I said, yeah, but you know what you should have done? And I put it in the script. That he pops up in the air guard hatch on the back and pops several shots back at him and yells, "Not so fucking funny when it's you, is it?" And my buddy's like, "Yeah, I wish I'd done that." I'm like, "Yeah, I always think of things guys wish they'd done."
Yeah, hindsight's 20/20, isn't it? Yeah, I tell you what, man, I think Reacher was a really great story, but it was really great to me because it's a military policeman. And I know what he went through in basic and everything.
Yeah, he was CID, right?
Yeah. Criminal
CID.
Investigation Division. Yep, absolutely. So the meltdown on Twitter is what we were talking about. I was going to touch on Marvel.
What meltdown? What's going on?
Oh shoot! You know what's going on, man.
They're all taking their toys and going away.
They're all taking their toys and going home, man. And
yeah, I made fun of a bunch of them. Like fuck Ice. What's his name? Ice Cube? No.
Yeah.
Ice T, the guy that's on the cop show.
Okay.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to say that I don't like Elon Musk. I suppose he's going to delete me now. And I responded to him. I said, well, that's a dumb fucking idea. Why would he do that? Now, if you pretend to be him, he'll kick you, take your ID, and then make you pay him $8 a month to get it back.
Right.
Nobody responded. Nobody said anything to me.
It's just so stupid. All these celebrities are saying, yeah, I'm leaving here. I'm like, that's not an airport. You don't need to announce your departure. I mean,
right.
That's narcissism. That's the definition of it.
Absolutely.
Well, and I was telling Joe.
Just stay and nobody gives a fuck. Like,
I was telling Joe, it's probably not even the celebrities making their own damn tweets anyway. They have people to do that.
Oh, it is them. It's them.
A lot of them do.
Publicists aren't that dumb.
Publicists
aren't that dumb.
Right? Publicists wouldn't be that stupid.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well, the dumb ones is from them. The others are from a publicist or something,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is how it
goes.
The
point I was making,
the point I was making,
Gary, was,
but you can't delete it. So
yeah,
or they don't.
The point I was making was, number one, you're proving to me that all the stuff you stand for, you don't really stand for. You're just going with the crowd. And number two, back to number one, because if you really believed in everything you were talking about, you would stay and fight for it. Okay, and. Number two, they're just acting like spoiled children that have been coddled to their entire existence. It's just...
a lot of the celebrities claiming they're going to leave Twitter are the same ones that said they were going to leave the country when Trump got elected.
Yeah,
I made that point too.
And when I was going through the list a minute ago, I was like, "What is this? The cast of Dancing with the Stars looks like a bunch of C-listers."
What's really embarrassing is people like Marina Sirtis announcing proudly that she bought an electric car, a Tesla.
Yeah.
And now she announces, I'm not supporting that because now Elon Musk is in. Come on.
Well,
really?
Maybe you shouldn't have bought the car. Yeah, you're really struggling now, aren't you? You want to save the planet, but damn that Elon Musk. Son of a bitch. What are you going to do?
I'll share this with you real quick. The only two celebrities I follow on my personal account are these two guys.
Oh
James
yeah,
Woods. Yep.
James
if
Woods.
you don't follow James Woods, you are missing the fun of Twitter because that guy's hilarious.
And this guy.
Adam
The
Baldwin.
good Baldwin.
The good
I'll have
The
to add
good
him on my
Baldwin.
list. I'll bet
The
you his is
Supreme
Animal
Baldwin.
Mother.
I
Yep.
bet you his is great, man. I remember a movie with him
I'm telling
called
you,
My
his
Bodyguard
posts are
back in the
always
day.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I also follow
two of
Dean
them-
Cain and
I
Go
don't
ahead,
follow.
John.
He's too religious for me.
Yeah.
If they get too religious, I tend to not follow him because
Who
I'm
is
not
this?
religious.
Is too religious? I'm sorry, I missed
Dean
it.
Cain.
Dean Cain.
Dean Cain. Okay.
Dean Cain's devoutly Christian.
Yeah.
And I like
He's the
him a
one that
lot.
played
Don't get me wrong. I
Superman,
love his.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, on TV.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
A good Superman on top of that.
Yeah.
And I remember
yeah.
somebody said he's a white supremacist. I'm like, you understand he's Asian, right?
I was fixing to say
He's not
That's
white.
Japanese.
He's Asian.
kind of a requirement to be Caucasian to be a white supremacist. I thought. I don't know. You know.
No.
I mean, didn't he get a lot of flack when they casted him as
face of white
Superman?
supremacy.
Right. I never really watched that one. I love the chick that played Lois, though.
Terry Hatcher.
Yeah,
Terry
Terry
Hatcher.
Hatcher.
Back in the
When I
day, she
saw
was
her in
pretty
that
awesome.
Bond movie, man, I was like, wow, unbelievable. Yeah, I've always been a big fan of hers, man.
Yeah.
You know what? While you guys hold it down for a second, I promised Gary I was going to show him something, and since Ron is
Oh,
here,
no.
and no. This is something from Hollywood that you got me involved in.
Oh my
Tell them
God.
about whenever we had a lot of movie productions move up here after Katrina. Okay. And
Yeah.
my wife was an extra on a lot of
I
movies.
did. I just as a fluke one morning, my morning routine is get up, have my coffee, watch the news, and there was a story on the local news, and they were talking about needing background extras for the movies that were being filmed here. And so I just filled out the application, and immediately I got to be in a couple of different movies, and I
Look out,
think
brother.
pulling out.
Someone behind you.
I know, right? That's what I was like. But I did get him in on one of the movies that with me, and it was so funny because at the time I was, and Gary, I don't know if he ever told you, I was a registered nurse for over 20 years.
I was a nurse as well.
And
Nice.
yeah, and so I was a nurse manager at the time, so I just took off work, but I got him involved in one of the movies, and at the time I was making a lot more money than he was as a nurse. And on the set, it was the first time he would tell people I made more money than her, because he was a featured extra, as he played an artist in a courtroom scene, and he actually drew some of the actors, and it was Beyond a Reasonable Doubt with Michael Douglas.
Oh, I know that. Yeah, I know that film.
Yeah, Joe was a featured extra, and he drew, and the producer actually looked at his drawing and then asked if he could use it in the movie. They ended up not doing it, but they did ask if they could use it in the movie. We were getting excited about it at first, and then it didn't happen. So
This is the sketch pad I used. Hang on a second. I'm gonna have to move my mic to the side. All right. Anyway, let me flip this open. I was a courtroom artist in it because they saw me. I was actually working on a portrait of what you got there is the seal of the state of Louisiana. It's a pelican, and a couple of, that's just a quick sketch, but I did several drawings of Jesse Metcalf in the courtroom.
yep.
That's one of him from behind. And they just, when they saw me, I was doing a portrait of Michael and Catherine Zeta-Jones, because that's why she got me involved in this. I'm a huge Michael Douglas fan. And I just did these sketches while I was sitting there. They saw me doing the original one of her, or excuse me, him and her. And I'd have to look at the filmography to tell you who these actors were that were in.
Well, the guy on
scenes
the
with
left
them.
is Michael Douglas.
Yes.
Right, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But
And that almost looks like Philip Seymour Hoffman as Capote.
But it wasn't him.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I just did these while they were filming. After I did the portrait, you know. Now this guy that's coming up that I did, you might recognize him. Hang on. That one is Metcalf again. I did a lot of them Metcalf. I actually did a full-blown portrait of Mike and Catherine Zeta that Rhonda actually saw him walking around with it in his hand. He
We
didn't
did
throw
give
the
it
trash.
to him.
Yeah, I gave it to the assistant director. Now this older guy, I didn't finish that one to him. Not sure who that is. He's really hollowed out cheeks though. I'd have to look at the cast and see who it is. But let's see. Yeah, this one right here. Wasn't this your guy from The Walking Dead that died in the revolving door?
No. You were talking about Noah?
Yeah.
No, I don't think that was Noah.
I
No.
think it was. But I think, is that all of them?
Yeah, I don't think he had many more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one of Metcalf on the stand. But anyway, that's just some sketches. I told you one day I'd show you those, and since Rhonda was here, she could give you the backstory on it. I figured I'd let her tell it, and so I could pull it out. But yeah, you can actually see me in the movie too. I'm right there in front every time Jesse Metcalf walks out of the into the courtroom. So I had a lot more hair back then that was brown, not white.
Cool.
So, but
2009.
yeah.
Peter Hyams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I love
Peter
Peter
Hyams.
Hyams.
Yeah, and
I love it when
I'm a big fan of his.
Stays away
man.
from science fiction. He
Yeah.
has to stay
I love
away from science fiction.
Capricorn 1. I love
Good film.
Running Scared. I mean, he made some good movies, man.
Absolutely one of my favorite cop films of all
Yeah.
time, buddy cop films.
Yeah.
Right up there with Freebie and the Bean. But when he starts doing sci-fi, I get irritated because, the only sci-fi film I think he did a good job on this because he had advisors was 2010, the year we made Contact.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
When he made Outland, there were so many scientific problems with everything he did.
Yeah. Yeah.
That even as a kid, I was like, how old was I? I was 15 when I would see that. And I'm sitting with my dad, and my dad's like, will you please shut up? Stop it. Because I'm like, going, you couldn't do that even in 1/6 Earth gravity because blood will pool. He's been dead for over 24 hours. He had blood pooling. You can't draw blood out of his neck. Why is he doing that, Dad? Stop asking me.
So you've always been annoying. Good to know.
Oh, look, and I do it to him, especially with medical stuff in shows. I'm like,
Jesus Christ, don't start.
Well,
He's doing that.
I was headed
all the time.
towards medical.
I
as a young
keep telling
kid.
him, shut him off. Shut Medicare off, please.
I became an EMTI.
and then Joe will say, Rhonda, can they really do that? I'm like, no.
And what kills me is when she starts rattling off these acronyms that she thinks I'm going to understand. I'm like, yo, dumb it down for the idiot, will you? What the hell?
English, please.
Well, listen, boys and girls, we are at the 2-hour
technical term, lividity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
And that's what irritated me. Lividity should have set in.
So listen, I'm going to highlight you guys, and you can tell us where we can find you. And I'm going to start with John right here. And hang on a second. Let me do this correctly, because this is the only way I know how to do it. I'll learn it eventually. John.
Yeah. Well, this Friday you can find me on Pop Culture Minefield. I'm hosting Morning Coffee. This week we're discussing Ray Harryhausen, the great stop motion effect artist, and also whatever topics happen to crop up between now and then. And on Tuesdays on my channel at youtube.com/@RealDasWolfen, I stream on Tuesdays at 4 Central. And that's pretty much it.
You should stay in the background so you can actually talk. Well, you can find me at Pop Culture Minefield, doing stuff Monday through Friday, Friday afternoons and Saturday afternoons, and soon Sundays as well. Plus, we're going to be on KGRA radio with our show, Dangerous Military Nerds. And also, I'm a professional artist. You can always find me, at Creations by Gary. But you have to know how to spell Gary to get there. So there you go. And you can see me flipping my ponytail. That's an action move. Look at that. I'm action. And that's it. You can join me again.
I'm glad you didn't slip a disc doing that, Gary. I'm with Gary on Pop Culture Minefield Mondays and Thursdays as a co-host, and sometimes just to annoy him as a panelist. That's it.
Rhonda,
Oh, no.
Rhonda is going to tell you what's up with her. For those of you that are watching this in the Shreveport closure area, she has Where's the Pedal?
Yes, I am the Royal Fox, also known as Rhonda, and I do have my own crafting business. I do sublimation, I do vinyl cutting, and I have a show coming up. Well, next week's going to be really busy for me. I have one on Wednesday in Shreveport at Home 2 Suites. And then on Friday, Saturday, I have Shop Till You Drop at the Bossier Civic Center, and I'll be set up there. And Joe will also be set up there with me at the Shop Till You Drop. So, and I'm really going to start working on I have a Facebook page, Rivers Inspired Doodles, and hopefully we'll have a store soon.
All righty. Well, boys and girls, what you got there, Gary? You wanted to share something there?
After the show.
Oh,
I mean, you can share it now
okay.
if you want to.
Well,
I was just going to show you something.
Okay. Absolutely. Well, show me now. Go, man. What you got? There he is.
One of the weird things about me, if you look me up, I'm in Wikipedia because of a book I did that was controversial, and they got a lot of my work. You can just look.
There's my Captain Kirk.
And there's
is that on your website, man? Can I order that off your website?
Jim Cirilli from Blue Water. I think I can't remember what comic company he was with. I did some work with him, and then of course Dale Dye. I work for him still. I work for Dale Dye.
All right, that Captain Kirk portrait. Where do I find that at, man? At your website?
Yeah. If you want to buy it, just get a hold of me.
Yeah, absolutely. You know,
Keith has prints of it, so just get a hold of Keith.
Okay, I will. Definitely, because I want one, man. I love that picture. It is so awesome.
We need to add it to the room.
Yes.
Yeah, the Kirk is one of my favorites.
Man. This is what we call
the Spock, though.
The fan. This is what we call the fan room. It's got all of our stuff from Comic Cons and comic books, and she's got a.
In front of me that you can't see is my Walking Dead wall.
Yeah, she's got everybody she's met off The Walking Dead and stuff. So listen, guys, I want to thank you all for coming. Okay, and everybody out there, I want you to.
Oh, were we supposed to?
Coming. What's that?
Were we supposed to?
Listen to you. You gotta mess with people, don't you? Listen, guys. Thanks for being here, and we'll be back next week. Of course, want to know, let you know what's going on with the channel tomorrow. Of course, it's the Brothers Hack the Matrix. Highlander and I get together and we do that headline thing. We talk about all the headlines for about an hour and a half, starting at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. The Brothers Hack the Matrix. Then, of course, you can watch me creating my comic book. I'm 2 pages away from having the first 20-page rag plotted so I can get to work on the detail stuff. And I'm probably going to be picking Gary's brain a lot during that process. Let me tell you, I've never done this before. So anyway, you can watch.
You've watched too much Walking Dead.
My buddy, Justifier Jim, hosts it so that whenever I get too busy into the comic book drawing, he can let you know what's going on. That's Saturdays, 1:30 in the afternoon Central Time, 2:30 Eastern. And of course, we've got the pregame party for the NFL. Me and my buddy Knock, we do it every Sunday, 2 hours before kickoff. If you're tired of watching the Communist News Network, ESPN, then tune into a couple guys that really love football, and we'll tell you all about what's going on in the week.
Yeah, if you don't get kicked off.
Yeah, if last week we got kicked off, we showed too many Notre Dame highlights and they booted us off the servers. Great. But we learned our lesson. We won't be doing that again. And then the only Twitch show I have left is me actually making time to play my video games. 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern. And this is after a day of watching football. And I have cocktails, video games, and fails. Papa Joe Gamer up way too late. I play 3 hours and I switch games every hour to keep it interesting. So you guys can find me there on Sundays at 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern. And we'll be back here next week at 6:30, or she be 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern for State of the Atmosphere, where you never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to show
Same
up.
Joe
You never
time.
know which direction we're going to. Yes, same
Same
Joe
Joe
time.
channel.
Same Joe channel. Joe's Atmosphere. So you guys be good. And until we see you again, I want you to keep on keeping on. God bless.